Many feeders have reported multiple sightings of a female carrying 2 newborns in the last 3 weeks. The preliminary assumption is that we may have the first documented twin birth with the 3,000+ wild macaques in Hong Kong. The female with twin is said to belong to the car park troop, if not, one of its affiliates. So on one sunny day in the second week of June, I decided to drop by the car park to seek out the truth. It's around 2:30 p.m., with the sun beating down like this. The monkeys aren't going to spend any length of time in the car park, unless there is a reason. Like the sighting of one of the regular feeders who bring goodies to them. Perhaps there's a reason now. But not everyone's going. Perhaps it's not the real McCoy. Oops, or perhaps it is. But some appear they aren't that sure. Let's follow them to find out, shall we? Very few of them did actually come to the car park. It seems to have just been a false alarm. There's indeed a mother with a baby. But we've seen quite a few already. After all, it's the breeding season. There's their alpha male. Remember him? He made a few guest appearances last year. He's staying put. Actually, I think he's taking a nap there. It doesn't look as though we are going to see them active until later on when the sun is down. The female allegedly to be carrying twins will probably do the same. Besides, most of them are still donning their fluffy winter coat. It's too hot to be out and about. Let's come back later. You may wonder though, and rightly so. A quick search with Google will bring out reports of different types of macaques bearing twins, but very sparingly, sir, like every few years at the very best. The most recent one being a stump-tailed female in Thailand 2 years ago. Prior to that, a case happened with a Tibetan macaque in China in 2010. And going back another 10 years, a Formosan macaque in the island state of Taiwan. Of note though, the females in this particular colony have a high incidence of supernumerary nipples. Twins, or even triplets however do happen with in vitro fertilization technique, but as a rule, usually only one would survive, the other one would be miscarried naturally. So it does seem that pregnancy with twins is indeed very rare with macaques. But how rare? There are tens of millions of these old world macaques throughout Asia, so unless we have a way to keep record of every single birth in the wild, we could only get an approximation from a few sample colonies here and there at best. I think one study did try to address this issue, and a retrospective and a more vigorous analysis of data in 1990 does suggest that twin pregnancy is indeed very rare with old world macaques, lying in the region between 0.19 to 0.35%. So for every 1,000 pregnant females one would be lucky to find 1 or 2 carrying twins, let alone that said female could carry the pregnancy to term. In a more recent study published just over a decade later using a more powerful DNA profiling technique with short tandem repeats, the figure from 1,500 rhesus yielded a figure between 0.027 to 0.21%. So there is almost a tenfold reduction from the figure quoted before, which suggests how rare one is to find a twin pregnancy carried to term at the end. There are now, I estimate despite the sterilization program in place, probably around 3,000 macaques in the wild in Hong Kong, so our sample colony is actually big enough. The chance of having our very first twins, both alive and kicking too, is there, but still remote. I have to see it with my own eyes to believe it. Shall we go back to the car park to find out now since it's just past 6:30? The sun is almost down now.
Yeah.
Is that the mother with twins? Actually, we've met her briefly last year. She's the one born with facial defects and is at the bottom of the hierarchy in the car park troop. I could only see one baby so far, but 2 little tails. Perhaps this baby is born with 2 tails. Freak like this does happen. I just really hate the car park area, it's just so damn noisy. That Auburn baby is really a handful for his mum. So it must be about 3 to 4 weeks old by now. I am still seeing only one baby there. Oh, holy crap! There are indeed 2 babies. Could those 2 little ones really be twins? They have different coat colors. They have to be dizygotic twins. Could this really be the first case of twins in Monkey Hill in the last 30 years? She is definitely nursing both. only less than a dozen of them here. This lots have to wait till everyone's gone before they could come down to find any scraps that are still left. I know this female is at rock bottom in the hierarchy. Almost like the untouchables. When I met her last year, she was being bullied to leave, and her distress was shown through by the presence of a fresh rectal prolapse as she was clambering to leave. Someone like her could not possibly have kidnapped a newborn from another female, and for over 3 weeks now. Though there is still a distinct possibility that she could have adopted an orphan. Either way, she is a beautiful mother. That Auburn one is a boy indeed. Quite a few regular feeders come at this specific time to feed her. She and her twins have captured their attention. I really bet that the darker one is a girl. What a bully. She really is low ranking. Now she has 2 babies to fend for, she is even more vulnerable. What a kind feeder, he gave her another one. She wouldn't have made it that far without their support. Where does that Auburn one get all his energy from? That's a good sign, she really does have a healthy appetite. She is beginning to drop stuff. She's about to have had enough. She will be leaving soon. She's gone indeed. Good night, I hope I'll see you again.